Now the Scorpion has a 76mm caliber main gun on the turret. The Scimitar has a smaller 30mm autocannon. You'll see a Scimitar later on this afternoon. These machines were used largely for reconnaissance purposes, so they were swift into the front lines of whatever theatre of war they were deployed to. They weigh about 8 tons, and because of their lightweight, with that 190 brake horsepower engine, they were able to get swiftly into position to allow reconnaissance to take place, to get the information of what was going on the forward lines with the enemy, and to then get out quickly once again. Low ground pressure from these vehicles because of their tracks means that, as you can see, they don't really churn up the ground, so they can cross the terrain that other heavier vehicles perhaps can't. Now the 3-man crew is only protected against machine gun fire, so if ever they were hit by something really heavy, it didn't do an awful lot to protect them. That's why in the armed forces these machines were affectionately described as having chocolate armour. These tanks can go as fast forwards as they can go backwards. So with their manual gearboxes, and you'll see it in a moment or two, they can reverse out of danger very quickly indeed. They're small enough to be put inside a C-130 Hercules aircraft and to be parachuted out on drop pads, whereupon they can pretty much instantly be deployed to service. They've been in service with 22 countries in every continent of the world, and they were actually built under license in Belgium. I think the Red Arrows would be proud of that. Our 2 drivers this afternoon, Mick Browning, who's in the Scorpion with the slightly smaller flag, and Andy Baker in the other Scorpion machine. And if you would turn up at your local petrol station and fill up, well, you'd have about 99 gallons to fill from a dry situation, and you'd be burning it at a rate of 8 miles per gallon. Pretty much like a Range Rover these days, I suppose. So getting up to speed, you can see the agility and the speed with which these Scorpions can manoeuvre, and that's just a taster of what's coming up this afternoon.
It's alright.
That's Mick. And now Andy into high-speed reverse. Now watch how these go. Same speed, forward and backwards. Same maximum speed. And these are 5.9 litre or 5.3 litre Cummins diesel engines powering these particular machines. Mick Browning's machine is called Betsy, and she made her first appearance here at Whitseed in 2013. She was part of the Royal Tournament in December of that year, and she's also part of the Alvis fighting vehicle demonstrations. She was totally rebuilt from spare parts. In June of 2013, she was just a bare hull. Then she was built and prepared, and within 6 months was on display. So a little more running around. Does it look like a race? Crossing over at high speed. Imagine driving one of these on the road. They are road legal. These will get up to 50 miles an hour top speed.
Yeah, this is fine. I'm doing really well.
And able to deliver quite a knockout punch when necessary. Watch how the ground hasn't cut up. That's because of the low ground weight on these machines. Wasn't quite the same story yesterday when we had rather a lot of rain which had got into the ground overnight, so we couldn't run the heavier machines, which you will be seeing later on this afternoon. Another crossover. And a high-speed turn. You pull back on one lever, you push forward on the other, and that's how you go out steering a Scorpion tank. The CBRTs, first completed in 1969 as prototypes, and then accepted into service with the British Army in 1973. Ladies and gentlemen, our drivers and our crews from the Alvis Fighting Vehicle Society, Mick Browning and Andrew Baker.
Mam to. Jeszcze są. Tak, benzyna się pali.
Ladies and gentlemen, the CVRT team from the Alvis Fighting Vehicle Society, Mick Browning and Andrew Baker. Thank you, gentlemen. Fantastic.
We'll go to next weekend. That's it, Joe. I don't judge, it's the Alvis Society. So we're all together, we're together.
Now, those of you that are of perhaps a slightly nervous disposition, don't worry, it's going to go a little bit quieter now. There'll be less in the way of pyrotechnics. That's not the totality of them, I hasten to add, but it will be a little bit quieter. A victory lap by Mick and Andy. Mick making his way out, Andy still on the course.
No more banging, no promise. That's it, all the banging's finished with Thomas now.